Time now to focus on the Western Conference, where we saw two Texas powers fall in their game ones yesterday, as we were talking about, the Mavs and Spurs. Two favorites took care of business on Saturday, the Suns and Rockets. Here to talk winners and losers, 13-year NBA vet and current member of the Phoenix Suns, a winner over the weekend, Jalen Rose. Jalen, let's start talking about the Warriors, because that seems to be the story of the day. The Warriors over the Mavs for the 6th straight time. What can you say about this Golden State team?
I think this Golden State team is for real. The mid-season trade, obviously with Troy Murphy and Dunleavy, have really done wonders for this team. Anytime you add Al Harrington and Steven Jackson to a team with a healthy Baron Davis, obviously there's so many subplots. When you talk, Nelly used to be the coach of the Dallas Mavericks, the teacher versus pupil thing with Avery Johnson. But the bottom line is, like they say in boxing, styles make fights. Well, you saw that yesterday. Dallas Mavericks changed their lineup for the first time all season to try to play small ball and match up with Dallas, and it worked out in Golden State's favor. And Baron Davis is really tough to stop as well.
Baron Davis just lit them up in this game. If you were the Mavs, how do you go about trying to stop him in game two?
Well, you're not really going to be able to stop Baron Davis. You only can hope to contain him. I know that sounds cliche, but it's actually true. He's a guy that, he's physical with the ball, and what I mean by that is he gets you on his hip, he gets you on his shoulder. He's able to go left, go right, pull up for jumpers. He's a three-point shooter. He's a creator as well. So I see Baron Davis able to get his, but if you're Dallas, you want to play your big lineup again like you've done all season. And what you want to do is pound the offensive glass. You want to set hard picks and try to get guys open for short shots and really do what you can to defend the basket.
Make them react to you instead of the reverse. Let's go to the Nuggets-Spurs series now. That was the other Texas team we saw lose, San Antonio. What does this do now for the Nuggets' confidence?
It does wonders for their confidence, because this is why you bring Allen Iverson to your team. Not necessarily for the 82 regular season games, but for the playoffs, a guy that has experience, somebody that you could team with Carmelo Anthony. Both of those guys had 61 points in the playoffs game yesterday, and it really does a lot for their confidence. Now, game two is going to be big. Obviously, you don't expect Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker to struggle like they did in game one. So I look for the Spurs to rebound, but everybody feels like it's not a series until you win on the other team's floor. Well, that's what Golden State did. That's what Denver did. Now it's interesting to see how the series is going to play out.
Your series now, Suns-Lakers. We saw Kobe Bryant, I think it was Phil Jackson, said he ran out of gas. In your opinion, what was the key to your victory?
I don't know if Kobe ran out of gas. I don't know if Kobe could ever run out of gas. I think he finds a way to get it done regardless. But I think our team is just so deep. I mean, you saw Barbosa score 15 straight points for our team. We got the two-time MVP in Steve Nash. He had 20 and 10. Amari had a double-double. Sean Marion had a double-double. I think we just have so many players that we could throw at the Lakers. I think we could find a way to wear them down if we're able to stay healthy and continue to stay focused.
Skip was saying in 1st and 10, the Suns, your team, played more defense than we've seen before. Was there focus on trying to play more defense at this point?
Well, you have to play defense in order to advance in the playoffs, but we're a scoring team. We're going to outscore teams. We look up at the board, and we see that a Kobe Bryant may score 35, 40 on a given game. Lamar Odom may get you 15 or 20, and you try to keep everybody else under their average and hopefully win the game. And we know there's going to be a quarter during the game where the Suns are going to find a way to score 30, 35 points in a quarter, and we think teams can't match up with that.
I know you don't want to give the Lakers any advice, but what are you going to look for in game two that LA couldn't do in game one?
The thing I look for LA to do in game two is probably try to find a way to supplement Kobe's offense for the first half, try to allow him to be a facilitator to get other guys shots, whether you talk Lamar Odom, whether you talk Luke Walton, whether you talk point guard play, Jordan Farmar, or et cetera, and try to get those guys going early and hopefully keep the game close for the second half and try to take over.
Rockets and Jazz, the final series out west that we want to talk about. Tracy McGrady, 22 second-half points. What are the adjustments the Jazz need to make now?
The bottom line is when you play against the Houston Rockets, you know they have two legitimate superstars, and T-Mac, who has a chip on his shoulder, being the only scoring champion that has never advanced past the first round. You have Yao Ming, a guy that is a force down low, and he's able to shoot the ball with a feathery touch. So what you have to do if you're the Utah Jazz is you have to play your game. You have to use Mehmet Okur to spread the floor and shoot three-pointers like he's done all season. Carlos Boozer is basically unstoppable down low. You got to find a way to get him moving towards the basket, and Deron Williams has to penetrate and kick and knock down his open shots as well. I think that's going to be a great series.
Jalen, some great analysis for us. We're going to be talking to you throughout the playoffs. Twice a week you'll be stopping by Cold Pizza. Thanks for today's insight.
Thank you very much.